So today's video is a fairly simple one. Well, I say that a short one, we'll see. Where I paint an eye with volcano theming. Basically, this idea is I had it from a high school project I did, uh, where I did it was the eye of a forest or something like that. It was just a pencil drawing with it was in an art class, and we're working on contrast and how to use that well. And it was a fine project, and I liked it a lot. But I felt like there was a lot more with that concept that I could go for. So this is part of that. I'm going to be making at least 9 eyes. Right now, I only have the ideas written down for, I think it's 6 eyes, but of a different element or type of things. So right now it's the volcano's eyes, and yeah, I'm really happy with the concept, and it seems like a good way to get back into painting because it's been years since I last painted on canvas proper. I did some activities with ceramics at local shops and things like that, but it's been a while since I last did some proper painting. So this feels like a good way to get back into it with a more conceptual idea. It's more it's not abstract. I want it to feel like a volcano, but since it's from a strange angle and with the framing being that it's an eye, it makes it so that the pressure on being able to do a quote unquote good realistic job is much lesser. So it's good for practicing texturing. So like right now, you can see that I'm making some yellower versions of browns, which with each circle I make. That's because I want some kind of fade with I want the lighting of the volcano's caldera to be visible, to be felt. So every layer being yellower, so more bright than the previous one, helps with that. And it felt like a good exercise to get back into the groove of painting. And a lot of the paintings I'm going to be making for now will be in this 5 inch by 5 inch canvas, because that's a cheap and quick option for studying and getting back into the groove of things. So they're sold by packs of 18 in my local art goods store. So they're really easy to have, and it's a good way to practice. Since it's a smaller project, in a 5x5 like this, there's a lot less pressure to perform. I'm not going to be ruining days of work if I make a major mistake here. I'm just going to be screwing up at most a few hours of work, which is a lot less pressure mentally for when going back into things. But so this feels like a good idea. And also, those little 5x5 canvas are easy to place around my home in an interesting way. I have a lot of detailing on the walls that nothing can go there, but I can place a few small canvas there that make it, I don't know, tell a story. Not really. So here there's a spot in my walls that I know that I have nothing going on there that I'm vaguely interested in doing, and I know I can fit 9 5x5 paintings into it, and that's also where I used to have my previous eye project uh, installed. So the fact that it gets replaced by 9 versions of what of the concept that grew from it, the expansion of the concept. Uh, I felt like that was poetic a bit. So now that the volcano's exterior is made, mostly that right now what I'm doing is I'm tracing where I want the lava flow to be. This is mostly just so that I have a plan when I start doing the larger flows, because right now it's a all of the flows have the same thickness, but well, if we think about how things flow, if something that flows branches, the branches will be smaller than the trunk, let's say, of the flow. So, uh, to be able to have the correct thickness everywhere, I felt like I needed to start by making the lines thin. Personally, right now, I am very torn about this decision. I feel like the thin lines would they be, though much more subtle, would have worked fine without needing to thicken them. I'm kind of 50-50 on my opinion on how much I like that. It's a I go back and forth in the internal debate, and well, anyway, I have finished it, so I can't really go back. I could do it all over again, but that's boring and a waste of resources, so I won't do that, of course. But I feel like the version I ended up with was maybe overdone a bit. It felt more aggressive, let's say. But the subtle version with just the thin lines worked fine, I think. But I think on the wall it would maybe have been too subtle. It's again really hard to say, but these are the kind of questions that as artists we have to ask ourselves for the future. One of the things most want to work on is the amount of paint I put in my palette, because I put way too much paint in every step of the process. Except maybe the orange. The orange I ended up pretty flush. Pretty. I used pretty much all of the specific orange I used for the lava flow. But again, there was a lot of waste, like for the red here, where I'm just adding dots. I felt like it would make, I don't know, bubbles of lava or rocks that have been heated red. It felt like a good idea. I really like dots, contrasting dots. That's a thing I've added in a lot of my paintings in the past. Um, it adds texture, you know. It's I like it. And usually I do that like this with the back of the brush, because that way it makes a mostly perfect circle. So here I'm painting the eyelids. The orange of the eyelids ended up much brighter and deeper than I intended. It looks almost Pokemon-like, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. One thing that I'll have to keep in mind for the next painting I do is to use a different pencil. The one I used was I think a HB pencil, but there are lighter shades that I have that I could use because it's somewhat visible through the paint. I did add other layers of paint with some attempt at texturing that mostly hide it. I have to look pretty closely to be able to see them, but it's still kind of annoying. And with that, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to come by whenever you want. Bye.